All right, Crossroads, we're talking state playoffs, starting off with the Shiner Comanches, who dominated on the way to a big 34-14 victory. Iola averaged over 42 points per game in the playoffs heading into their game against Shiner. The Comanches holding that high-powered offense to just 14 points. And now they'll face off against Junction, another top offense in this year's playoffs. Well, let's hear from head coach Daniel Bodecker about what it took to get through to the quarterfinals.
To this round, sometimes it's about survival, and I thought our kids did a great job. We knew they were going to come out and be a physical bunch, and we got some adversity early, but our kids hung in there. You know, that's what they've been doing a good job of, and they know that they have to do those types of things this type of year for us to keep moving on.
The state contender Comanches will have to keep it up in the quarterfinals to keep their state championship dreams alive. 2 more rounds until the promised land. And we'll jump over to another Crossroads team that's creeping a little bit closer to that championship game. The Refugio Bobcats avenged last year's loss against a longtime rival in the Ganado Indians, taking off in the second half with some big plays in the run game. Coach Drew Cox gave a lot of credit to the boys up front. They dominated the line of scrimmage and left some cracks in the D-line to let their backs break through, and quarterback Ray Lewis. Here's Coach Cox on his team's performance to move on, giving props to both his offense and the defensive effort on the other side.
Our offensive line just dominated, I think. I'm going to watch the film. I think that's probably what I'm going to see. They did a fantastic job. You know, you're not going to shut these guys out. They're really good on offense. They've got a lot of weapons, and you know, we got enough stops to do what we did. So our defense played it was an all-around awesome game.
Thanks, Coach, and congratulations to the Bobcats, who move on to face Mason in the state quarterfinals. The Punchers just finished off a tight 41-37 victory over Kennedy to set up this collision with Refugio. Now we're going to go ahead and jump to collegiate football, as you know, every conference is wrapping up their regular season this week. One of the biggest games of the year in all of college football, with an old school rivalry, Texas versus Texas A&M. Unfortunately for the Aggies, the Longhorns took that win 27-17, creating some chaos at the top of the SEC. We'll see who plays in the championship. Marcel Reed threw 2 interceptions, but he looks good on the ground, though, running for a team-leading 71 yards. Arch Manning had a tutty on the ground and through the air to receiver Ryan Wingo. Quintravion Wisner led the rushing attack for the Longhorns with 155 yards. And finally, we'll take it to the pros for basketball. The San Antonio Spurs winning the group of death in the NBA Cup to move on to the elimination rounds. To get there, they had to beat a hot Denver Nuggets team in a high-scoring tilt. Devin Vassell had the Spurs' high watermark, hitting 7 threes on the way to 35 points. 37 points from Jamal Murray and 28 points from Cam Johnson were not enough to win for the Nuggets, who got a near triple-double from their perennial MVP candidate, Nikola Jokic. Final score 139-136. So Jacob's not here. He'd be really upset about that Aggie score, maybe a little bit happier about that Spurs score, but I'll make sure to be on his neck about it tomorrow. Amaya, back to you.